out as a direct counter. Oh, this is definitely a combo deck from Kaldi. Or is it?
You think so?
I don't know, I saw
Only the
Emperor, but
Emperor
it's
is like-
everywhere. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Emperor.
man. Emperor just says, I'm a good card, why don't you play me?
Yeah, never mind that. I just saw it and I was like, oh, you've got to be playing that with Worgen. And
Well, he has 2 Devs Bite. Now you have to play Grim Patron.
yeah, obviously. Oh wow, double Armor Smith opener for Kaldi.
That's good. It's really good.
Yeah. What if Warrior one day gets a card that says draw 1 card for each armor you have? Oh wait, what if it was draw a card for each 5 armor you have?
For 2 points of mana?
No, like, I don't care. Yeah, let's say 2. Or 1. I don't even care.
0. That's
0?
The best
card,
cards? Yeah.
Definitely 0 mana. Draw infinite cards. Oh man.
Well, you draw
another
the
Armor
second
Smith.
one and that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of a standard opener, and
It's not a hero power into hero power into hero power.
yeah, I don't know what's
bad.
going on. This matchup is going too fast.
Oh, this is what I hate. Which is I really hate to drop the Acolyte of Pain without any activators at the same turn. And you can do it with Cruel Taskmaster next turn. I really don't like this.
Yeah, I think his intent is to kill both those Armor Smiths with Acolyte, but unless there's no weapon at all from Kaldi, this is not happening.
Mind Control Tech.
Yeah, Dr. Boom counter, haven't you heard?
I have heard. Have you heard? B is the word.
The bird's the word?
Yeah.
Alright, so Trump gets a card, finds Baron Geddon. I'm not too sure how relevant that's going to be in the immediate sense, but it might come. It's not exactly the matchup against which you want Baron Geddon, but it can be very useful sometimes. Oh, the
This
armor's
first
gonna
death
go away.
sweat will be kind of awkward. We'll just
Yeah.
use it for face. Well, just. It's still a great move because you deal 8 points of damage for 4 points of mana, which is efficient.
And you can't curve into Sludge Belcher because otherwise you feed him 1.
Yep.
So that actually guarantees that Trump gets the initiative back
Mm-hmm.
by playing that Death Bite offensively at first.
Kaldi will not play the mind control tech, so he is kind of forced to use the shield block. And
Yeah,
armor up.
it's
Yeah.
all right. You'd rather keep that for when you do have Shield Slam at the ready, but especially when you know you're about to lose 4 of that armor.
Well, the second attack from the armor, from the Dev's Bite will basically be 0 damage.
Yeah.
Because
it will
of
give
the
back
2 armor
4.
smith. Yeah.
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 Oh,
yeah.
Trump is just gonna hold on to this and deny Kaldi the
That's
ability
not
to play
bad.
anything. I like
That's
that.
not bad, yeah. He can coin out Baron Geddon next turn.
Oh wow, that is actually a really strong play by Trump. You know, I feel like this line of play he's taking, he's thought through about 4 turns ago. Like as
No
soon as
way.
he dropped the I think the Acolyte of Pain play led into the Death's Bite play, which led itself to the good follow-ups. I feel like all of this was somewhat orchestrated by Trump's evil mastermind.
Let's say so.
There's a lot of foresight.
So now, what do you do as Kaldi? Can't do anything.
Shield Slam face.
Your face.
BGH face.
He has 7.
You cruel task the opponent.
Well, he has
Oh, no,
7.
it's-
He has 7 or something. You can use Big Game Hunter now.
Right. You can BGH the armor.
What do you think just about dropping the mind control deck?
Well, you're just feeding in more armor to the Death's Bite, more weapon to the Death's Bite, but at the same time you're gonna get, instead of 4 armor, you're gonna be getting yourself a total of
6.
6 instead, which is pretty sweet. And it's better than losing something more important. Although
Okay, so
Trump's got to feel like he wants to do something else then.
Trump can use the weapon to the face and drop the Baron Geddon anyway.
Yeah.
Then it will be met with the Big Game Hunter. And that's it.
I kind of, like that line of play because you're forcing the opponent to be responsive right away. I mean, Belcher is also not too bad though, but there's a weapon up. So if there's a shield slam, well, you don't shield slam that in this matchup. Doesn't make sense.
Maybe you should keep the coin for the shield slam. that you have in
Alright,
your hand.
I don't think he's gonna play, you know, Baron Geddon on this board.
Yeah, now it
doesn't
does
seem
make
to make
sense.
much
No, no,
sense.
yeah, now
Exactly.
it's useless.
Yeah. Baron useless.
Wow, 30 points of damage. That's lethal.
Double shield slam face. Good game.
So Baron, Doctor balanced, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or Baron Geddon to kill off the first part of the Belcher. Oh, he
And
does
see
that.
if there's a big game hunter.
Yeah, you're baiting out removal. And then Dr. Boom comes out, so one of both is going to be safe. But he finds the brawl for Dr. Boom. Shield block, armor up, shield slam for a total of 6 mana. That leaves you a bit dissatisfied, but alternatively, there's a Fiery War Axe, Cruel Taskmaster play, but you're
Yeah.
taking a lot of damage from that.
I think you want to draw as many cards as possible. You like any big threats?
I mean,
So if
Baron
you do
Geddon for
that-
both players. Yeah, I think Trump needs to find something else to contest.
Like
the Dr.
Alex Straza or...
Oh,
no, that's not good. At least not
Well-
now. Ragnaros would be great. Or just Dr. Boom.
so he's considering developing a weapon or just armoring up. I think just because of the amount of health that your opponent has and the possibility of Alex Straza, getting armor is not unreasonable. Not at all.
So you just drop the Dr. Boom and Shield Slam D1 too?
I do like the Acolyte Cruel Task, but it's so slow. It's too late in the game to start doing stuff like this. You have to do it on the dead turn. So
Then
Dr.
you-
Boom is
yeah.
obviously better.
Yeah.
It's just that
If
it
you
feels
just
weak.
go... if you just go with the Acolyte of Pain and Taskmaster, then your opponent plays Baron Geddon. And you're getting wrecked. There's Alex Straza, but you
That's
have
the
to play
first step.
Brawl, right? Do you have to play Brawl right now?
Have to play? I don't know. I like Gorehowl straight up. It's fine, because you can tank that damage and get incredible value. And you're forcing the opponent to have Harrison Jones, otherwise there's not a single minion that's going to stick to this board for a while.
Unless Ragnaros.
Yeah.
And Alex Straza. And
Are those big worries of you at this point? Ragnaros would be a big problem. That's the closest you could come to a problematic minion.
And you lack executes. That's unfortunate.
You haven't found neither player has found an execute so far.
Maybe they don't play it.
Well, yeah, there were versions of. I think Orange played a warrior that had no executes. And,
At IEM.
IEM Katowice versus Amaz. Well, versus everyone, in fact, but.
Both
Well,
players are kind of drawing blank. Well, okay, never mind. There was a Dr. Boom. Nah.
yeah, there was a good card there. It's just that it was answered with Gorehowl very straightforwardly. Well, Acolyte of Pain Cruel Task doesn't feel too bad. And then you could play the Death Bite to kill the 2/2 if you felt like it. That's not bad.
I think now we have to commit the Acolyte of Pain with the Taskmaster. Maybe we'll draw a few Warx.
What if you just play Death Bite first and then trigger it next turn on the Acolyte? It's up to you, really, but
I think you need the draw now.
okay. Yeah, find a threat, otherwise you might get overrun.
Oh!
Wow, back to back.
You do it, right?
Well, I don't know, you do want Grom, but that's the problem, is Grom and Cruel Task are so good together. It's hard to justify not keeping it for that. Alright.
Well, okay, Trump used both Deathbite. Would use just both Deathbite, right? If you would do it. No, that was Kaldi, never mind.
That was
God.
Kaldi, yes.
Yeah,
That was Kaldi.
so it's so hard to cast the same classes.
So Baron Geddon here is giving decent value to Trump, killing 2 cards at once, but Kaldi can answer it right away. The thing is, he won't get to trigger the Acolyte of Pain with the Death Bite AoE if he wants to.
He will use the Big Game Hunter, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, or Shield
You want
Slam,
to
doesn't matter.
put a
Both are
threat
good.
on the board.
Yeah, I agree. It's just that Shield Slam might not get you the value you want later on.
It might not, but you still have 2 Shields Maiden in your deck.
Man, look at this lack of card draw here for Kaldi. He's got decent cards, but no execute to really use with those Whirlwind and that Cruel Task. And another weapon to override an already good weapon. Feels a little awkward.
Next turn, Kaldi will have to face the Alexstrasza. That's quite a big of a problem.
And he puts down the BGH here to put a threat down, force the opponent to answer it again. But I don't think Trump is that worried about it. He's got really solid follow-ups. They're just getting better.
So you kill the Big Game Hunter and drop Alexstrasza.
Yep, and force the opponent to have... Well, it's either that or you play Shield Maiden and Armor Smith. The thing is, if you play Alexstrasza...
then you might be dead also to Grommash.
Grommash Hellscream, yes. Like, both players don't have the information that we do, so... Alright, he's gonna go for the Alex play nonetheless. He can't set up lethal, but he's
now
being
Grommash
very
is
aggressive.
lethal. Nope.
Yeah,
And
Kaldi
there's
is
no
worried,
designs.
but armor up,
I'm
shield
talking
slam.
about, armor up, shield slam, pelted shredder.
Yeah, it's very easy for him to handle this, but... The Shredder is actually a problem here. It's actually problematic.
Imagine if Trump would ignore the Big Game Hunter and attack face with the Gore Hole to crush the armor.
There would be no answer from Kaldi. But the thing is, he's playing more around executes.
But you can't make that play without having the full knowledge of your opponent's hand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the advantages that we as casters have is we see a lot of the decision trees. We see more decision trees because often we have the information. Or at least we restrict them. Yeah, there's a lot of them that don't even cross our mind. If we could see all the scenarios that the players are actually going through during a live game, it's very different. What they think they should be playing around often doesn't make sense to us. But from their perspective, it just seems very natural.
Yeah, and they can also think about cards that are not even in the deck.
Yep. That's been done. A lot of times.
More than once.
Alright, Trump is thinking, how dead am I to Alexstrasza? I mean to Grom Hellscream here.
Very dead.
He's calculating.
Doomsayer.
Oh, he does have...
Lightwell? Wow, that's actually a problem.
Yeah, I mean this is like...
You have to use shield slam on that.
I can't believe that. He played Alexstrasza, and she's just going to get negated by a Lightwell.
You have to kill it. You have to use the shield slam on that.
Does it? Really? I mean, this is horrible. This is one of the worst possible... Well, this is actually not too bad for Kaldi.
He will defend the Lightwell now.
Yeah, with the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah. So basically the Lightwell is saying, oh, I just use an additional hero power and a half of that each turn. And
the drawback
is
it can heal itself
minions.
is the problem. Yeah. Well, it's almost a drawback at this point. Because you damage your stuff with an AoE. So the Lightwell could heal anything, potentially.
But you can use Taskmaster on the Lightwell and have a 2/4 minion. Is that good anyway? I don't think so. So
well, you have to kill a 5/5, right?
You use the Death Spite on the 5/5, and then drop the Belcher, and maybe drop the Taskmaster on the Lightwell just to put some pressure. What do you think about that? That's the second Taskmaster, so that's the problem. But you have a Whirlwind, so the damage will stack faster from the Lightwell than it would be from the Grommash with the Taskmaster, I think.
So Kaldi goes for the, even more board clear heavy, and he's going to enable a Lightwell with a Cruel Taskmaster here, trying to put even more counter pressure on Trump, seeing that there's no threats, but Trump has a Brawl. That's gonna bite.
And now he has only really two small cards, if you would say so. Execute Lightwell.
It's Trump, really. I think Brawl is a really fine play here.
Think so too.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 20 health, and you can armor up even further. You've got weapons to defend yourself. You got an execute.
What about not doing anything? But then your opponent will just do the same. Attack phase and not do anything.
Exactly, he's just going to put down pressure for free. And the slime comes
Lightwell
out.
lives, so the problematic card for Trump actually won the brawl. And if he wants to answer the Lightwell this turn, he will have to execute it.
I think he can wait one turn. You just kill the slime with that weapon and then armor up. Or possibly develop the Fire War Axe behind it.
Interesting turn.
Yeah. Trump is, yeah, I didn't realize... I mean, he's one of the two notably slow players with Life Coach, I think. One of two. So, love it or hate it, he takes his sweet time every time he's got a decision to make. And both players with weapons for pressure, wow. So, first one to find Harrison Jones wins the game. This is the slowest possible...
What do you think about dropping the Fear War Axe here? Because if you use the Death Fight, you probably will keep it for the Death Rattle. And if you just drop the Fear War Axe, then you just use it for pressure.
I don't know if I can call this pressure at this point. I mean, I'm using...
Well, Trump has 15 points of life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there is a feeling of danger, I guess.
Danger.
I guess.
So now you kill the Lightwell with the Gore Hole, armor up, and play Death Spite. Or the Fear War Axe.
This was like a Vitality Totem. It healed for 6 health total. It's almost a heal bot.
If it just would heal himself, then it will be out of the range of any weapon unless Death Spite plus Taskmaster.
So Trump doesn't die to Grom here. He's only going to be on 14 and he's got the Execute to handle it.
Big drop from Kaldi now? Or bust? Shields Maiden, that's nice.
Yeah, not nice enough perhaps. But nice nonetheless.
Well, you have to drop it, Hero Power, pass.
I mean, Kaldi's being very aggressive with those weapons.
He has
He
to.
wants to end this as fast as possible. He's got the upper hand though. I thought he could... I think what he's afraid of is that Trump's hand is filled with value.
You have to also to play the Fear War Axe right now. If you draw Gromash next turn, and your opponent has... Oh, never mind, doesn't make any difference.
Oh, this is a bit tricky because you want to play the Acolyte with the Cruel Task to get card draw, but if you do so, then you can't Cruel Task Execute, so you'll have to Armor Up, Shield Slam, Execute.
Yeah, I like the Taskmaster Execute better.
I think it's a much safer line of play than the alternatives. Now, the question is whether or not you play... I think you just start arming up every turn from now on and come back in the game. Kaldi needs to find a really good rag.
So he draws a Grom, he doesn't win.
Wow, value. Such value.
What's funny, if he would draw Grom, and he would have played the Fear War Axe, then he would have won.
Yeah, he would have been able to punch face for 3 plus Whirlwind for 10 with Grom Hellscream. It's still not over for Kaldi, in fact. I think he may be yet favored depending on if Trump finds another card, like another armor up.
Or a huge minion. He has 2 draws, basically. Okay, that's a huge minion.
Trump does find the Grom Hellscream, so... that's one good thing.
You sacrifice your Acolyte of Pain?
For the Execute? Yes, I think so.
Then you draw 1 card, which can be, an example, Ysera or Ragnaros or...
This is what he wants. This is the safest possible card he could have ever found.
Yeah. So now you play Shields Maiden, Armor Up, Shield
and you
Smash,
play for pressure.
And attack for 2 points of damage. And then you can play your other weapon. Now you want to play Death Spite next turn.
Yeah, you want to be able to activate Grom eventually. I think ultimately there's no real bad play since you've already seen Alex Straza, right?
Yep.
It would heal you, so you don't really care at this point. Like, it's not a threat. The body's a threat, but really not that big of a deal.
No, you didn't see Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza was being played on Kaldi from
Yeah, that
from
you
Trump.
have to play. Yeah, no, I know. Trump played.
Oh, you mean
Trump
the
played
other way
Alex
around? Okay,
as,
okay. Yeah.
as a threat, so he can't really get it with Grom. He's just gonna have to enable it soon and play for counter pressure.
Sylvanas. That's
Well-
not bad.
That's pretty good. That's gonna cause a stalemate for at least one turn.
I have no time for games.
Wow, these warriors have way too much health. Oh,
Harrison
well,
Jones.
there you go. Well,
That's
actually,
nice.
wait. Just trade everything away first, and then
Yeah.
put the fiery war axe in the museum. Could this game come down to fatigue calculations? I really don't think so. I think Trump's gonna get the edge.
I think Trump will now stack 25 points of damage each turn and just
Exactly.
kill Kaldi really fast.
If Kaldi,
He didn't play any weapons. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, never mind.
playing around Harrison Jones, 46 health are gone really quickly in a matchup like this when you start getting the board. If one player gets two 5
used the
attack minutes
brawl?
to stay on the board. Trump
Okay.
played Brawl to deal with the Sludge
so
Belcher, the Armor Smith.
Kaldi can still have a brawl. So you kill the Shields Maiden, play the Sylvanas, and Death's White go face.
Yeah, you
Or
start
just
applying
drop
counter
fear
pressure.
Oryx.
Yeah, you could play Grom as well, unless you're afraid of specific things. I don't know, like
Well,
Ren Black Hand. but
Did
it's not out
Kaldi
yet.
draw executes yet? I don't think so, right?
No, there haven't been executes from. I think he might have played one at the very least. All right, so Trump is gonna go on the offensive here. Slowly but surely.
works. You won't play Gromash in the upcoming turn anyway.
Oh,
that's
there's the
execute.
execute.
Yeah.
Good thing he didn't play that Grom.
So now you have to use that, or you just don't care about the Sylvanas yet?
I think you can wait one turn before you're forced into it to see what your opponent ends up doing. Alright, Trump is getting a slow but sure edge on this board. Now he's going to be calculating all the fatigue damage coming 10 turns from now, so he can probably go make tea. And when we're back, we'll see if he played the Sludge Belcher or not. Oh, never mind. He actually already made the calculations very early.
Very fast, much practice.
Much Warrior, very wow.
Brawl.
Do you have to
Very
play it
Brawl.
now? I don't think so, but thing is, I think you just wait again one more turn. I think Trump is getting really suspicious though. There's no way he overextends on this board.
No way. He
Like,
will just
this
attack with
is
that
way too
and
good.
hero power, you know. Yeah.
Fastest control warrior turn ever.
Yep.
You've got the board, you don't surrender it. Oh, that could be
Nope. That's
I don't know, depends
not
on-
important at all. Like, if you play the Belcher, it just soaks 5 points of damage from the Sylvanas, but the Sylvanas still lives.
yeah. Well, after you brawl though, it's a pretty decent play depending on what lives. Okay, so
So
that's
the-
kind of the worst case scenario.
yeah.
We'll pass again and wait. Actually, if you play Belcher, Savance attacks into it, then you can execute her and whirlwind the slime off, because she attacks your own slime. Trump is almost out of cards, and he finds the Emperor.
Emperor!
Does he even play it, though?
I think you do. You just saw Brawl.
Right. What are you really worried about? Trump is trying to figure out what he's worried about. A second brawl would be a sick tech from Kaldi, but nothing that Trump is excessively...
Still not game winning though. You know? Because if you have two brawls and you just brawl in this situation, your opponent still has major threats in his hand.
Yeah, and Trump is going to be setting up the Grom Hellscream. There it is. It's about to hit. Next turn could be a lethal, but there is a Sludge Belcher and an Execute with the Whirlwind.
Acolyte of Pain.
Perfect curve here. Acolyte of Pain, Whirlwind, Execute, Belcher. It's curving out pretty well. You could give your opponent the Acolyte to give him card draw.
Oh, that's good. Alex Straza. Not really.
And
Oh, that's bad.
alright, so Trump's gonna have to mitigate his Acolyte of Pain's draw, ideally. And Sludge falls down.
Is that game? No, not yet.
I don't know, I just
out of
know that
cards.
Trump is out of cards, but he's got two huge threats in his hand, and that's going to be really tough for Kaldi to handle. Thing is, Death Bite's AoE is going to trigger once, so Trump has to sacrifice the Acolyte for a single hit, as opposed to two. Because if you attack first, then you're opening yourself up to,
So you sacrifice the Acolyte of Pain.
You play Armor Smith first, possibly.
Yeah.
I think I like that, just to get the extra armor. I mean, unless your opponent top decked a second Brawl, you shouldn't be too worried at all.
Or second Mind Control tech.
Oh, wow.
That would be insane. Plays 2 Mind Controls.
Deathwing?
Deathwing plays 2 Mind Controls?
No, if Kaldi plays like a Deathwing. I wonder if he'd even bother.
That would be good.
Yep. So Trump
And
is going to
what-
be ahead of the...
What does he draw? Fatigue. That's a bad card.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see here. Are we going to see Dr. Balance? I think so.
Yep.
Better
Agree.
than Grom.
Agree. And your Grom is for 6 mana. Balanced. Doesn't really matter at all.
What if there was a Brawl here? What if? Or Deathwing even. Deathwing wouldn't be a problem because you got BGH.
I'm almost out of cards. That's the Gromish. That still doesn't do much. You can't play Alexstrasza on your opponent, and you can't play Alexstrasza on yourself. That's so weird.
Yeah, so Kaldi just chooses Death, realizes he can't handle the amount of board presence that Trump has. He had to use Brawl very, very weakly against a pretty weak board, I guess, but otherwise he would have been beaten down even faster. So Trump takes the win. He's currently streaking 4-0. You know, he beat him on as 3-0, and then he's doing 1-0 versus Kaldi. So that could be another... He might just be on a win streak here. We see Trump with Hunter and Mage left, and Kaldi's got Warrior, Rogue, and Hunter still. So with Hunter and Mage in your opponent's lineup, which of these 3 classes do you pick up? Warrior, Rogue, or Hunter?
No, go Hunter, I think.
Versus Hunter Mage? So you go for the coin flip versus Hunter and try to raise the Mage?
Well, Kaldi might stick to the Warrior. Will he?
I wouldn't be surprised because it beats Hunter very frequently.
And
Mage isn't too bad if you're okay with the tech. So I think Kaldi's sticking to the Warrior.
probably true.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, he sticks to the Warrior. So let's see if Trump went... Oh, he went Mage. Okay, good call.
Yeah, instead of going for Hunter, knowing that Kaldi would probably go for one of the better decks. I mean, either way, what Kaldi could have gone for is either a bad Hunter play, like you go for Hunter and you 50-50, or you go for Rogue and you get punished severely by Hunter, or you go for Warrior, which is stable against Hunter and at least okay versus Mage. So, if Trump is bringing Freeze Mage, somehow...
I don't think so.
But if he's bringing Freeze Mage, I'd like him to do what was done last week. I don't know if you were watching, but Monk...
Not every single game, but I was watching a lot.
We ran into a Freeze Mage versus Control Warrior, and the player just escape conceded. They didn't even start the game. Stayed for first turn, escape concede.
Really?
Moved on to the next game because it wasn't worth doing. Freeze Mage versus Control Warrior. I think I would do the same.
Well, it's not like a 90% win ratio.
It's more like 95. You're right.
I would say if there's an Antonidas, you can kinda turn the tides.
All right.
Maybe even 80-20. And that's worth playing, in my opinion. 20%
Yeah, I
of
guess so.
winning, that's not bad.
Yeah, you play it out. It's just going to be a very, very long game.
Yeah.
Depending on what the players want. I think he ultimately won the matchup, by the way.
Who was playing that?
I forget. It might have been Reynad who just quit on it. I'm
Oh, yeah,
not too
that
sure.
fits the profile.
Yeah, I know, right? It might have just been Reyna doing that. I just forget who was playing that specific match, but Freeze Mage was brought and he just left. I don't know.
Your
It feels
opponent
like it
left.
feels. I can't really blame him, honestly. Yeah, no, it was Firebat. Firebat versus Frezar.
No
Firebat
way,
queued up.
really?
Yeah, Firebat versus Frezar. Firebat queued up Freeze Mage versus the Warrior of Frezar, and Firebat just escaped conceded, didn't bother with the game, and just moved on. And Frezar took the series, by the way. He went 3-0 against Firebat last week. So yeah,
That's weird. I wouldn't expect that from Firebat. He knows exactly how card games work. If
Yeah.
someone gets like a really bad draw, you can still win. And if your opponent makes mistakes, you can also win.
all right. So we're being told that Kaldi didn't actually pick Warrior. The admins just misled us. He actually is going to be playing Hunter, and Trump's
Hunter
going to
and
be playing
Mage.
Mage.
Well, this changes a lot.
Yeah, it changes the matchup quite a bit. In fact, I would venture to say the Face Hunter, unless Annoyotrons come into the way too much, is generally going to be in a pretty good position. If the Snow Chuggers also don't bother him too much, that's another factor that you have to keep in mind. If the freezes work well and the Hunter can't answer those, then that's a really big problem. And I'm getting voice cracks here.
It's on distortion on Skype, you know? It's not your
Okay.
voice.
Right, right. It's not my voice is cracking.
So we'll be jumping to the game.
You asked for it.
And Face Hunter versus Black Mage. Clockwork Gnome on turn 1 against Face Hunter, that's nice. But Ardent Squire is being played by Kaldi. That's quite a amazing
That's an
tech.
amazing tech, and we saw
Yeah.
a bit of that actually recently because it allows you to deal with an Ogretron immediately. It's kind of like I want to say it's the Perdition's Blade of Hunter as far as tricks go, because it deals with an Ogretron really well and lets you trade up very quickly against some of the smaller minions. Because Perdition's Blade is a card that's fallen out of favor for a lot of Rogues players, but an Ogretron gets completely destroyed by it. You just ping it and kill it right away. And that's kind of like, that's the way I look at the Argent Squire Glaive Zuka for Hunters.
That's a really insane draw to have both of those. Knife Juggler too. Well, you play
Cal-
Argent Squire anyway.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the...
Well, maybe, what about Hunted
Creeper's
Creeper?
fine. Yeah, Creeper's okay too. You're forcing the opponent to not only trade the Clockwork Gnome, or you trade it and you play your Juggler with it, it doesn't matter. I really like the Creeper.
Yeah, I think I would go for the Creeper.
I really like it.
The more intuitive play is just to drop the Argent Squire, but then you kind of think of your opponent dropping a Snow Chugger or whatever.
But the thing is, you're worried, like, if an Oyotron falls down, then the Haunted Creeper is useless.
True.
But pings
Well,
the
it's
shield.
not like useless. You can kill the Annoytron because you have the Glaive Zuka.
Yeah.
So now you drop the Hunted Creeper and trade for the Clockwork Gnome, right?
Yeah, and that's actually perfectly fine, honestly, because it forces Trump to ping the shield off anyway. At some point, he's going to have to do that. And by forcing Trump to do so, he's surrendering the initiative. And speaking of initiative, there's none of it here, and Abusive Sergeant Glaive Zuka is going to handle this quite nicely. Actually, Knife Juggler Coin Glaive Zuka might be even better. Glaive Zuka first, but
What if you don't hit... Yeah, exactly. Glaive Zuka first.
yeah. Glaive Zuka first, and then you play Coin Knife Juggler. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see what he ends up doing.
Well, he plays the coin, so he was checking for counterspell. Yeah, he goes for the Glaive Zuka Knife Juggler. Nicely done, mate. What if you trade the Hunted Creeper?
You're getting more damage, but you're not forcing the opponent to react to it as much. And the moment he gets a good Blast Mage, if any, is going to be a bit problematic, I think.
To play a Blast Mage, it's still
wow,
like turns away.
Blinktron.
That doesn't help at all in this matchup.
Eagle Horn Bow getting overridden is actually not too bad, unless you give him Assassin's Blade, of course, in which case you're kind of punishing yourself, but it can be a really good card. Oh god, don't Wormhole.
Well, if you would have a Snow Chugger or a Wood Elemental, then the Blinktron will be okay, but not in this situation at all. Okay, so do you drop the
Do you ping
abusive sergeant? I think you drop the abusive sergeant,
on the creeper?
and if it lands on the, if the knife lands on the pelted shredder, then you can trade with your Glazuka.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What an unfortunate minion. Now he can't play abusive sergeant nor arcane golem for.
well, you can kill it with the Glazuka and Hunted Creeper.
Yeah, but it feels like such a waste, right? Like you
I-
wish it were 3-2, so you could just move on to with your life.
What about just ignoring that and going 5 damage to the face?
And you're preventing the opponent to play any battle cries as well.
Yeah.
What mechs have battle cries that are really interesting? I think
Well-
Drake. Yeah.
Well, Azure Drake, right?
Yeah, he
And,
can't play Drakes. And Blast Mage with like a Clockwork Gnome.
But to be honest, leaving it up was bad for you most of the time because you play with battle cries most of the time.
Hunter plays a lot more. It's kind of like Zoo, right? They play so many minions that have battle cries, like Defend of Argus, Dark Iron Dwarf, Flame Imp, even.
Yeah, and we see Abusive Sergeant and Arcane Golem.
But then again, Trump is also getting locked out because Blinktron, Lotheb, like those are basically cause the same as Archmage right now.
He has the Annoyatron, which is crucial this turn. I think it was really crucial draw for Trump.
Yeah, being able to kill that juggler with a Frostbolt and then establish a defensive line. It's pretty solid.
You can
Question-
switch the
Neutron to kill the creeper.
no, the webinar, the Weblord, and then you have a 4/1 minion that basically races the hunter.
Narrow Bar Rager. The Magma Weblord. I don't know how you want to call him. The value is unreal.
So Owl for 4 points of mana for a Neutron, and you go
That
face.
seems very viable. Oh my god. What a horrible, horrible card to find. How do you even handle that Narrow Bar Weblord? Like, you don't want to kill it ever. But now the problem is he can't weave in his hero power, and we know how important that is.
Yep.
It is so
And he
important
trades
for
for
the
a
hunter to do that.
Neutron. That's also bad because you just lost 2 points of damage.
Yeah, but you're not getting Blast Mage, so effectively you're gaining a bit. Well,
Now just ping the Owl and go 1 damage for the face.
whoa, wow. Crazy value here. I don't know how to handle it.
Handle it!
He could play Lotheb in other worlds. In another universe. Actually, what if you're just reversing switch your guy and then play Lotheb?
So you're reversing switch the weapon of Labrord,
Yeah.
and ping the Owl, go face for 4 damage.
No, you switch the Weblord and then you kill the owl with it and then you play Lotheb. Or do you
What about
attack face
racing?
with the racing?
Yeah,
I-
you can play the switch, deal 4 damage, and play Fireball to face. That's 10 points of damage. Your opponent's at 13.
Right, and then you trace the owl into the 1/4, the 4/1, and then you kill him with what?
Cards.
That seems. I think the reversing switch is an obvious one. The question is what he does with it.
I don't think he will be racing. It doesn't make sense. I just said it for the,
For the wolves.
for the yolks.
Making good yokes here. Alright, so back to normal. You know, it's kind of like you know how Emperor Thorson reduces the mana cost? I don't know how long it'll take for players to get used to playing around combos or even just combinations of cards, right? Like sometimes you play around a combination of like Hellfire Coil and whatnot, but how often do you start playing around Hellfire Coil with Thorson played for 3 mana?
You can't.
Like it's so
it's so complicated to think
The
about
variables are
the possibilities.
incredible.
Yeah.
There's so many variables at that point. Well, Kaldi's gonna weave in a hero power, very important that he does so.
And it's also very difficult to keep track of the cards that were reduced, that have the reduced cost,
Yeah.
Because you have to see which card was already used from the reduced one, and then to remember that.
So can we say the Blinktron is a dead card here? I think so.
we can. And you can't really play well, you have to play Tinkertown.
I think you play Archmage and you kill the 2/1, then you go full face and let the opponent deal with it. You try to race, because if you do that, actually wait. Yeah, you have to kill the 2/1.
You have to? What about just dealing 5 damage to the face?
Well, I guess you could do that because you're going to be racing with Archmage. And now, unless he has lethal, he's never going to be doing this.
Well,
I feel like you have to kill a 2-1 just because the amount of reach that the opponent needs with extra 2 damage is lower by quite a big margin. It's just
Well,
that
it's-
you can't
now it's
afford
lethal.
playing around it. Yeah.
now it's lethal.
Oh, that's exact lethal, in fact.
GG to Kaldi.
Yeah, I think the 2-1
Weird
traded
game.
away. Yeah, that was a really, really weird game, but that's mostly due to the fact that there was a narrow bar Weblord which denied both players the ability to play what they really wanted on curve. So, I mean, ultimately, I guess it mattered more for Kaldi because of the abusive sergeant and the Arcane Golem. But
And the
Trump
Owl.
was also locked. Yeah, and the Owl. But Trump was also locked out of options, and he didn't really have that great of a hand. He had a very late game card and Blingtron that gives a free weapon to Kaldi. It's good to override maybe a bow, but besides that, you don't want to give him a free weapon after you've played it, unless you've got Snow Chugger or perhaps the Water Elemental already established on the board.
True.
Well, that means that's the serious equalizer here from Kaldi, which means Trump is, he might be able to stick with his mage afterwards if he feels like it. Kaldi's got to be moving on to Warrior, Rogue, and Trump has, Hunter, Mage left still.
Hunter Mage, so probably
I like
Trump
Kaldi's
will
chances
stick to the
now.
mage.
I like Kaldi's chances of this. He's got a mind control tech in the Warrior deck.
No, I think I would play Hunter now.
For Trump
Yes.
to punish the Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to beat something with it anyway.
True.
You just don't want to go up against Warrior, but if Warrior wins, then you're left against Rogue, and that you can win, generally speaking. So if you run into Warrior first, then that's fine. But I think it boils down to the same thing in the end. It's just that Hunter has a very lopsided matchup in your favor, but a very lopsided matchup against it. So it's kind of like high risk, high reward if you pick Hunter.
Well, Kaldi
And the other
picked
way around.
Warrior and Trump picked Mage.
Yeah, this is the more stable line of play for both players. Well, line of pick, rather, for both players. It delays the lopsided matchups for after this. And if Kaldi wins with this, then Trump is going to be able to beat the Rogue. It's going to be pretty easy. If Kaldi wins this one, if Trump just throws, then Kaldi could win at least with Hunter. Trump could win with Hunter and then possibly Mage against Rogue. We'll have to see how things go. Also, I'd like to remind you guys before I'll remind you at the very end as well, but on Thursday, we will not be having games. There will be no Thursday KPL this week, exceptionally, because Sea Story Cup will be happening. So a lot of the players that play in KPL will be traveling, and as a result, it's very difficult to, synchronize matches and organize the entire thing. So on Thursday, exceptionally, we will not have the KPL. So if you were planning to spend your Thursday here, do not.
Well, you can go to the channel and chat.
Yeah, you can chat in the channel and spam the dongers and everything. That's fine. That's what you do anyway, right?
Yeah, smoke.
Yeah, smork. Wet his face. Error 404. Face not found. Alright, so
Well,
Mage.
Trump has a bad start, so you mulligan all the cards away. And Kaldi keeps Cruel Taskmaster, and that's it, right?
With the coin, the start is not entirely horrible for Trump.
Maybe you
Spider Tank I don't hate.
Yeah. Maybe you should keep the Spider Tank just to avoid the Fear Warx, but the problem is if there will be a Armor Smith, you basically
still
give
lose
it
it.
away, yeah. What
That's
you
all not
need
fine
is
for
piloted shredders, I think.
Those are the best.
And you have a horrible now draw. Yeah, oh good. That's
So
really
you went
horrible.
from bad to worse here for Kaldi.
No.
What
Well,
should
from Kaldi too, but for Trump also. Double Frostbolt and Fireball, that's awful.
Oh my god. Kaldi finds late game things. Not useful for now, but Trump can't apply the pressure, and that's really what you want to do in this matchup. That's the best way to win against the Warriors, just to be able to go zoo-like on them.
Okay,
He's
now
gonna
it's
find a
kind
good
of okay,
curve.
because now 2 Spider Tanks, that's something you want to play.
Yeah, that is on
Unless-
curve, exactly. Unless there's a Death Bite or something else that comes
Still
out.
not yet. Just Acolyte of Pain. So you play Acolyte of Pain, and if you're Kaldi, you kill it with your Spider Tank, right? Just to avoid a Taskmaster draw and boosting its attack to 3 points.
I agree. And
You
if you
do
bait
need
out an execute with this, I guess it's okay.
I think so. I think Trump also wants to play an Neutron instead of second Spider Tank, just in case of the Fury Warx, because there was a situation when Kaldi could have actually played it. So he might still be holding that.
Do you like the execute here? I mean,
No.
it's pretty
No,
early.
no,
It's so early.
not yet. Not yet,
Especially with the
because
MC tag that you
yeah,
picked up.
exactly.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna ask you the question. I felt like without a weapon, so he needs to find a weapon very soon. I don't even hate the execute. It's just so weird to be stuck without weapons at this stage of the game. His mid and late game are gonna snowball out of control, but for the time being, it's not looking stellar. And he finds a 4-4.
So you kill the Acolyte of Pain again, right? Oh,
You-
that's
you
okay.
You give taunt to that spider tank, I think.
The Spider Tank I would have given to the Tinker Town.
So Death Bite kills it. Okay, that's fine too.
You want the mech
You haven't
to be
seen
on
Death
board,
Bite
right?
before. Oh my god, Kaldi is blanking here. Although he does get a really good Emperor turn 6.
Yeah.
A really good Emperor. I mean, you get Doctor 6 after that. Although you can't play it as is, or as such, it's still very strong. Lowering the curve of everything. Shield Maiden for 5 mana. Wow. Uh-oh.
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 So you play low tip?
Yeah, your turn 6 is already set up. You got Fireballs, Frostbolts, an Oiltron, a Ping. You can curve with just about every way possible. And your turn 7 is also taken care of.
So it feels better to play low tip right now because it fits perfectly the curve. But on the other hand, it also feels great to use the Frostbolt on the big game hunter now. And just
Yeah,
go
with an
face.
Oiltron as well.
And
I
an
like that.
Oiltron, yeah, because there's a huge chance that maybe a weapon will be drawn next turn, and then you will lose a minion. And an Neutron just denies that. He goes for that.
Yeah. Alright, well, Kaldi needs to find answers again. Too many questions. I don't know what's going on. Do you play Shield Maiden or Emperor? Because there's a lot of damage on this board.
Cruel Taskmaster. I think you should go with the Emperor. If you want to win, you have to somehow squeeze the innervates. So I think
Yeah.
Emperor has to be played. And now your opponent has to use Fireball for that or lose the minions.
Yeah, I think a Fireball is a much more adequate answer to it.
Oh, if Trump will play that Snow Tracker, will he fall for it?
He's
saw
seen
the-
MC Tech already,
He's seen
right?
the MC Tech, but you know, it's a one-off in a deck. So do you play around it?
Well, the opponent has played nothing so far. No weapons, so that's either late game or some tech cards that he can't quite use yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you do play around it and you don't overdevelop this board. You just stay on 3 minions and you go full face.
And you
You ping.
You are also safe against Brawl. So I would definitely think not to play anything else.
Yeah. And what I do like about this current board state is the fact that Trump, he knows MC Tech. He knows MC Tech is in Kaldi's deck, and he's going to play around it. But Kaldi is completely unable to answer this without really taking damage himself. It's very, very difficult. There's no executes, there's nothing. He plays Shield Maiden, it's too slow. So he's gonna have to go for something like, exactly that, Dr. Boom, to counter the board. But that is such a slow play.
And what do you do now? Do you trade for the Dr. Boom? You can't allow that. So you just go face for 8 points of damage?
I agree. I totally agree with you. I think just putting on even more pressure might be the way to go.
And Dr. Boom, right?
Yeah, you put more stuff that makes the whole MC Tech irrelevant, makes the boombots also less reliable.
I like that.
Definitely. Oh man, Kaldi's in a world of hurt here. He's got his MC Tech Baron
Belcher.
Get in play though. That's pretty
That's
solid.
important. So you play Shields Maiden now?
Yeah, I guess you don't have the choice.
Wait, what about first? You have to play mind control now because imagine if your boombot kills a boombot, then the boombot kills a boombot, and then the boombot kills a.
Boombot, and then the
No,
boombot
it's
hits
still
your...
for. Never mind. It's still
Yeah,
for
you-
minions.
Yeah, you could trade your boombots first. It doesn't really matter. He's got a good curve too. Oh wow, boombot into boombot into boombot into Doctor Balanced, who doesn't get executed because well, there's no execute.
That would be super lucky if there would be an execute.
So Kaldi needs to take.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, he
he's gonna
wants
try to
to get
lower
the
the
value,
odds.
from that mind control tech.
Base for 4. Oh,
Boom.
Doctor Boom for 3.
3.
He steals Boom. Wow. What a
What?
turn of the. Is that wait 4, 7,
10.
8 damage? That's
Fireball?
not too far off. Oh man, I can't believe that. Whoa.
I think Kaldi turned the game around here.
Well, it really depends on the top decks from Trump, because Trump now has the best incentive ever to
He played one
go
type
aggressive.
already, right?
yeah. But I mean, can you really? I think the fact that you have the Rusty Horn makes it so. Oh man, you're so worried about Alex Straza. Oh, this is such a pain for Trump. Such a pain.
5, 8, 15, 14, 19, 22, 24 points of damage. Wow.
I think you might have to Frostbolt the Dr. Boom, but this is so horrible.
You can't really do that. If you want to win. So you drop everything. And
You vomit your head on the board and you hope for the best.
What about maybe low tip, snow jugger, and taunt? Your spider tank?
Your spider tank to make sure it tanks something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, maybe tank the Tinkertown Technician because then it dies to a minion that has more than 3 points of attack. So that's better, I think. Oh, he just spams the board. Yeah, that's also
Okay. So
Yeah.
he's just gonna go full on aggression and force
But a
Kaldi
weapon
to
makes
do
it
this.
lethal, right? Does it? No, it was 22.
No, it's not. It's not there yet.
So now, Kaldi has to drop the Belcher and the Armor Smith. And you get so much armor from that. I don't think you can win anymore as Trump.
Well, if you find because Archmage wouldn't really save you, honestly. Like it would give you the fireballs, but you couldn't even cast them on time. You'd be dead by the point where you can actually play it. Well,
So you
that's a good
sacrifice
card.
the Taskmaster. Right? And
There's a lot of really good
Oh.
trades to pick up here, especially with the Belcher as a follow-up. Yeah, a lot of really nice trades.
and you build so much armor.
Yeah, you get a free shield block, effectively. Not the card draw, mind you, but... You've seen one fireball, so there's nothing that really worries you here. Yeah, and you've got a shield block on the back end. You should be safe at this point. Wow, that steal from Kaldi was absolutely crucial for his win here.
And if you play Antonidas, you get 2 fireballs, and that's not enough.
Yeah, this is probably going to be unrecoverable for Trump. He's got no way to even deal with Sludge Belcher on its own.
Yeah, that's a Kaldi win here. For sure.
I actually have a hard time believing this happened. This is, I mean, Trump even played around MC Tech very well, I'd venture to say. I think he made a really good line of, he took really good lines of play here with the MC Tech. To not play too much into it, play Dr. Boom, to play too much stuff on the board to make the MC Tech less potentially valuable. But the odds were not ever in his favor. Oh, hey. No, she needs to get out of here. She's got no time for games.
And she is already in Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft, and Hearthstone.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
everywhere.
has no time for games.
I think she's a liar. Compulsive gamer. She can't stop.
So
Isn't
much
there a
armor.
bundle with her? Yeah, it's like there's no way Trump can power through this.
So much armor, man.
Yeah. Well, escape
concede.
concede.
Yeah.
That seems like a good line of play here for Trump. I mean, you could frostbolt your own face to make sure you don't move and your opponent can hit you properly.
Oh, powerful draw.
The
Well
best
played.
draw. I can fix anything, but not this.
Well, it's 2-1 for Kaldi.
Yep, in fact it is, and that means his warrior's now locked out, which I thought was going to be one of his better decks, I guess, to face off against the
The what?
the hunter and mage from Trump.
Okay.
So
Trump
it did
has-
work out against mage, so he's going to be left with rogue. I think Kaldi. He has only rogue versus hunter mage, so Trump can abuse that with face hunter.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So he
then
will lock
go for mage.
most likely, most probably, he will lock the hunter right now, and then afterwards it will be the game of draws between the mage and the rogue. If the rogue gets the backstabs, the agents, and the blade flurries,
Yep.
then it's
That's what
probably
it
game.
falls down to. It really boils down to those backstab. A good blade flurry with deadly poison seals the game very often. You also want to have, like I've seen games where rogues just can't deal with the snow chugger and the game is just over on the back of that. Like you just can't get unfrozen. So your dagger never gets used and as a result you end up losing the game. So a lot of things are going to have to line up for at least one of those players. It's a
Okay.
back and forth matchup potentially.
Want to make a bet how much the match will last? I mean the game. I can
it's-
set up a timer.
Okay, I'm going to say it's going to last 7 minutes.
What?
Is that long?
7 minutes?
That's
Face
too long,
hunter?
right,
Well,
for face
okay,
hunter.
it's Trump, so maybe.
All right, it's Face Hunter. I'm
accurate.
thinking about Mech Mage Rogue. Sorry,
No, no.
Mech Mage versus Rogue. No, Face Hunter is gonna be like a 2-minute game. No, Trump plays. I can't say that.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
I can't make an educated guess. I can't. It would be 2 minutes for me, but
Make a
it's
guess. Make a guess. We'll play for
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
4 minutes.
Trump's just gonna go full face.
I would say it will be 5.
5 minutes. Okay. So whoever's closest, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Great.
And we
sounds
start
good.
after the first move.
Okay, so as soon as a player plays a card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That's even more in my favor, I'd say. Unless Trump
no.
really.
Maybe Trouble will think animal companion or animal companion.
Or animal companion.
Which should I use the one I top decked? To tilt the opponent?
Yeah. Which animal companion should I take? Rebecca Black mode. Uncertainty is a really big problem.
Well, they're starting.
Let's do this.
You're
all right.
Shaving. What? That was shaving? Really?
Yeah, I think so. So Hunter versus Rogue. I think this is a really lopsided matchup for the Hunter. We've talked about that before. One of the best ways to beat a Rogue is to play Face Hunter when the metagame is plagued with rogues, whether it be Miracle Rogue from the olden days or some of the Temple Rogues. You just play Face Hunter. Generally speaking, they don't have what it takes to...
Jelly speaking?
Jelly speaking.
Okay.
This
is
when
Jelly.
a jelly speaks, it speaks like this. It
There's
says
a
that Face
backstab.
Hunter is OP.
There's a backstab in the opening hand, so this is good. But there's no coin for Kaldi, so a big disadvantage here.
He's got the backstab, he's got the sap, and Harrison
Harrison
Jones.
Jones.
That could be interesting, actually. Harrison Jones against a good bow could turn out to be very
Oh.
useful.
It started.
Pleasure is not
All right, Trump's hand is pretty slow, I'd say.
Well, you coin out Animal Companion next turn.
You mean Scumbag Wolf Rider? Turn on your SM Orcs, it's starting. Oh wait, Trump is gonna have to...
Well, he
Yeah.
will play Animal Companion, I think.
No,
Why
he
didn't
plays his
he-
Hunter.
I don't get it. Why didn't he play the Hunted Creeper on turn 1, then Hero Power on turn 2?
That's what I would have done, but I think Trump had something else in mind. He likes to play his Face Hunter a bit slower.
Okay,
and-
we lost the bets now.
Yeah, it's over. There's no way. Well, there's no fan of knives, so dealing with those 1/1s is going to be a bit pesky. I think you have to backstab them anyway, eventually. Although you have to backstab Wolf Riders and all sorts of other stuff.
Well, that's the prep, so he will draw into a Fan of Knives or Blade Flurry, so that the prep with the Azure Drake will be so crucial. Okay, so Animal Companion, Hopper? No, Misha. Which is the best option you could have actually get.
In
Now we
this
have-
case, yes, but I feel like a lot of the time you're okay with Leok.
Oh
as
no
well.
way, Trump is thinking about coining out. We lost like 10 seconds this turn.
Yeah, what does he think? Is he playing Face Hunter or is he not? I don't know what's happening here.
Smork. You should do that.
Sap. You have to sap, right?
Yeah, you have to. Or maybe you should just. That doesn't make any sense.
You
I would
prep,
like to
you
see-
prep backstab. Just to send a message.
I just wanted to maybe say that you want to keep the prep for the Belcher prep Septon, but maybe you will
Okay.
draw in an eviscerate, and then you will just Belcher prep eviscerate Misha, and that's even
And
better.
that's even better. So is Trump gonna replay the Misha or just hero power explosive
No, I
trap?
think
You
hero
put, the
power
bow is
explosive
good
trap.
actually. I don't even hate the bow, but it's a good turn 5 with the trap.
I don't like the Misha though right now. I will just play the hero power and explosive trap.
Oh, it's gonna work at the very least. So Azure Drake backstab kills Misha, and if you find a really good card off the top, you can prep it out. Whoa.
Now you can double backstab the Misha.
Yeah, right. This is alpha.
Yeah. Oh well,
Playing
beta. That was available in beta game too.
Was it? I forget. I
It
forget
was,
that
it was.
I just mixed all of the alpha beta stages because so many changes occurred between alpha stage and beta. Just I'm thinking of Adrenaline Rush. That never made it to live. I just remember that card.
Now Trump knows 2 backstabs are off.
Oh man, Trump has a lot of damage in hand. Those 2 bows with the double Wolf Rider, that is just disgusting.
Will he play a trap with that? He should.
I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah.
Just hero power because you
Hero
can
power
weave it
go
in.
face.
Yeah.
The explosive trap doesn't matter at all because you have the second bow, so you want to kill the bow anyway.
So what does he do? He hero powers. As
Good job,
expected.
Trump. Good job, Trump. Smoke.
Smork. Oh man, Kaldi
So-
can't find a spell no matter what he
You
does.
have to go with Harrison Jones.
Yeah, you have to remove that bow. If it gives you a good spell, then you're happy. If you find a heal bot, you jump up and down.
Dr. Boom. That's not bad.
Was the tempo rogue? Kind of tempo rogue that.
But he's already at 16 and there's 1 kill command. So doubles comeback? No. One's comeback, right?
I really don't see this going very well for the rogue.
Man, it's 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Go, Trump. Faster.
Oh man. I think Kaldi's gonna be the one who's gonna rope us, and I'm gonna lose this bet.
Yeah, you already lost.
No, I might be closer if you finish at 4 minutes 29 seconds.
No, and that's not happening unless con concede now.
Well, coin concede, go.
Prep concede.
Come on. I believe in you, Kaldi. That's it. I lost.
Haha!
Aha!
Haha! No, there's
Pirate
no
cast.
haha in this deck.
Aha! To battle! To require
that
my
was nice,
assistance.
man. It was nice. Really a nice accent. The you require my assistance. I made it badly, man. You done it really good.
So, I think Kaldi can't win this one, honestly. Like, it just looks like a lost game at this point.
And it just 5
Belcher-
minutes.
I mean, Belcher, you still get kill commanded hard, and then... Oh, wow. He is going for it.
Is this game? No, it's
So-
not.
Bow. He's
Oh,
gonna take 3.
oh no, that's
rest
game.
in the pepperonis.
That's game. And
Yeah,
we are
it's-
at 5 minutes and 25 seconds.
Not too far off the mark, Lothar.
If Trump didn't thought about that coin Vorgan and Kaldi wouldn't rope this turn, it would be 5 minutes.
Right.
It would
You'd
have
be
been
like
5
exactly on
minutes.
it. Yeah. 7 was a bit of an overstatement at first, but
Okay.
all right.
Interesting outcome
Yeah, it was a very interesting game.
out of this matchup.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always the way it goes. I mean, Face Hunter tends to take those, so Trump is going to lock it down, and now he's got Mech Mage versus Rogue. We've talked about this a lot before. Whoever gets the best draws. Like, it's all about that early game, getting the control early for the Rogue, or alternatively, whiffing on the early game and then getting the best Blade Flurry of his life. If you can get that, you're going to be just golden
People-
against the Mech Mage.
People tend to be greedy with that Blade Flurry. The same happened with Gara today when that Hellfury, and new card for Artosis. And sometimes the players just are being locked, like, they want to get 5 kills with one card, the ultimate value, but it's not about that. Sometimes it's all about surviving the 5 points of damage that can matter in the long run, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see how Kaldi will use his rogue against the mech mage from Trump. If Trump manages to just get a perfect curve till like turn 4 or 5, that will be perfect, and then use fireballs, that will be game most likely.
Usually, unless the rogue can answer with backstab SI, or doing Farseers perhaps in the early game, we saw Dr. Boom, we saw 2 Drakes, so there's nothing really out of the ordinary for Kaldi, but we didn't see heal bots or Farseers in that deck. There probably are some, because you still have to play them in general to at least have a chance of not getting obliterated by pure damage, but it is... I mean, you know what, I'm really disappointed that we haven't seen anything from BRM so far besides Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor is enough.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish I know, right? I just wish we saw like gang up Mill Rogue or something.
What about Quick Shot?
Right. Did we see it? We didn't see it.
Yeah,
but
maybe he didn't even use it.
I don't even know if it's that amazing in
Face Hunter.
In Face Hunter, I think it's good, but I think it's better in mid range. The problem is that mid range is too bad to justify playing right now, so you don't see it at all.
You know why it's better? Because it's instant. And it bypasses taunts and bypasses... What else? Bypasses
everything. You could. You know what you could play instead? You could play Cobra Shot, because you can even get board control with it.
Wow! For 5 points of mana.
Yeah.
The value, man. But you can't draw a card.
I think the only time where it's weak is when somebody plays Lotham, then you have to pay 10 mana, and now it feels bad. But at 5, it's a discount. I would take that every day.
Well, what about these draws, man? You keep the Cogmaster and Neutron, right? Do you keep the Palette Shredder?
I think I do.
You do?
Yeah, I think I do.
Well, maybe you should.
I really think I do, because it's got this... It forces a sap, and I mean, you're not on the coin, so you could justify throwing it away, since most of your deck is probably lower curve.
What?
But it's such a guaranteed value play.
I really don't get it, how the mulligans are being done by the spectator mode. I was sure that he was mulliganing away the prep, but he got a second one, and I'm not sure if that...
one.
Yeah, exactly, and I was wondering if that maybe was the first one. Oh, that's the backstab. That's nice. But do you want to keep it for the Violet Teacher? I don't think so, right?
I think it's too late.
Well, it's turn 3, so you will get like 9 points of damage.
Yeah. So, Dagger up next turn, then turn 3 coin, prep, deadly?
Yeah, you
or
have
deadly
to do
now?
it. Yeah, you have deadly now. You have to chugga this chugga.
Chugga. I think you're okay with it. It sucks a bit, but...
Well...
Actually, what if you really just don't? You just dagger up and pass.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
And you just like you coin Violet Teacher, prep, deadly. That seems like a really good line of play.
But you can't kill the chugger then?
Yeah.
But it's
the
still
Blast
okay,
Mage wrecks
I
you.
think.
Blast Mage would wreck you.
No way, wreck you. You got those 1/1s for free. So basically you play around Mech Mage with that play. With the Violet Teacher and spamming the 2 spells, you play around the Blast Mage.
What about just dagger, prep, deadly now so you can coin out Paladin Shredder then?
That's also not bad.
Yeah, I think
really
that's actually probably a good line of play. Hadn't thought about it too much, but okay, Kaldi's gonna be hoarding those deadlies for the Violet Teacher value.
He was greedy.
Yeah.
And now he's being punished by that.
He's gonna maybe be able to get back
he
a
needs
good board after this
Flurry
turn.
or Blaze Flurry or Fan of Knives, and otherwise he's kinda
Toast.
Toast, yeah, basically.
Yeah, this guy's toast.
It's not even disguised toast, it's just toast.
Kaldi toast.
You will get 5 points of damage next turn.
Error 4/4 face not found.
And there's a Lotep waiting in my hand.
Man, that little tip is going to be so good for Trump, though, locking out a turn where he might just get, Blade Flurried out of the board.
That Palette Shredder is so weak.
Yeah, it's completely
in this situation.
Useless. Yeah, I don't
Fireball.
want to...
Oh, man. Now you just drop Mirror Entity, go face.
Checka. So this is exactly the situation I was referring to earlier. If the rogue can't get unfrozen, it's over. She needs to find a board wipe. Oh, that is gonna help.
That is gonna help, but how much?
It's gonna help enough that at least Kaldi has a chance of coming back in the game, because now you can kill the Ignorotron and possibly find a Blade Flurry off the top, and then that would swing in.
He gets another... How many points of damage? 3...
Yeah, he takes damage.
7 points of damage, and there will be a low tap on the board. So I think you have to use the agent on the Clockwork Gnome.
Clockwork Gnome to reduce the damage output.
Yeah.
But then you can't necessarily attack the Snow Chugger if another Tron is played or something.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
And you give a free for free. That's confusing with my accent, you know. It's like free. What? It's like 3
It's like a
times
4
4
4
0.
4. You know,
3 times 0. It's
Yeah.
free. So 3 times 0.
Oh well, Trump's not gonna be too unhappy about a minion like this. It's not prime
and a
pick.
stealth. That's insane. Now we can stealth the Chugger. Oh wait,
Oh
you can't
my
because you
God.
want to play the low tip.
I feel really bad for Kaldi right now. I mean, he can't even wipe the board if he had the Blade Flurry
And that's what I was talking about, being too greedy.
with the dead. I think he should have
Oh,
read
with
dead.
everything. Oh, there's a
Oh.
Blade Flurry. Well, kind of too late.
Well, not really. Yes, really. Never mind. Not really. Well, okay. Let's just evaluate the potential of this hand. So I think the play is to smash your Shredder
Keyboard?
into that Lothab, or that Snow Chugger, sorry, and play Vile Teacher, and then hope that the Pilot Shredder pops out a Taunter or some
And-
such thing. I mean,
Well,
I don't
next turn, you stealth one minion,
and then you get
and you
Blade Flurry
force.
off.
But you force the Blade Flurry, and then you play Dr. Boom.
He didn't trade the Shredder away.
What? So you got. What is it lethal with Frostbolt? It would be.
Yeah,
11,
with
14?
Frostbolt. it
Yeah,
would be.
Frostbolt will be exact lethal.
So you just play Shredder, Pink Face, then Doctor Boom, then Fireball him over a few turns. I
You
think.
play Palted Shredder into.
Wait. There might be a way for Kaldi to do this.
How? I don't see this.
I mean, he's got the Tinkers, and he's got the Blade Flurry. That's a lot of damage if you think about it.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Yeah, it just has like Trump is currently not playing the Fireball, right? So he's gonna have to do it one turn later than he usually like, which leaves the Rogue. Oh, you know what? Actually, Kaldi might take this. Kaldi may actually take this, and it's hard for me to believe.
He can miss with the oil. Like, he has already one bad target for the oil if he goes for the oil right now.
So prep oil and then hope for the best.
Well, he can go with the Deadly Poison Blade Flurry right now. He doesn't have to play the oil, but he has to go with the race.
Yeah.
And if he hits the agent with the oil,
Oh, wait.
or the one once,
Deadly prep Blade Flurry Sludge Belcher. That way you can play another minion.
yeah, that's the best option. Yeah.
Probably. But
That's
you're
the
not
best
getting
option.
the oil's value. You really want the oil. You really want that oil out as soon as possible
why
to
prep
race.
now? So he goes for the oil.
Yeah, that's my guess.
So maybe he will not go for the... No, he has to go for the Blade Flurry.
Yep. He's just wondering whether or not it's worth it to expend mana on the oil. That's the biggest question he's got here. He's got to choose soon, though. He's going to pop the Shredder. Whoa.
What?
Blood Mage comes out.
Oh,
that
no!
gives Trump another chance.
So he has 3 draws that can win the game instantly.
Yeah, and he's going to go for the Belcher play that we mentioned. Now Trump is going to be able to get himself another card draw, and if he finds a Frostbolt, this is going to be game.
And what is it? A Neutron.
That's kind of annoying.
And...
Hey,
Frostbolt!
Frostbolt!
Oh, come on. Oh, too bad. But, to be honest,
Yeah.
Kaldi won this because he screwed the turn 2.
Well, we say that, but it was hard for him to force it. It's just that when I see Snow Chugger, I've learned to respect it to no end. And Trump is very happy about that win here.